I want all of us to rise. Right, and we can't do it without community and each other.
Mhm.
So that is something that is extremely important to me.
All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of Connections That Matter, where we have awesome conversations with Northern Colorado's best networkers. And today on the show, I absolutely have one of the best, Misty freaking Dockins in the house. Welcome, Misty.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, well, if you networked anywhere in Windsor, Colorado, I'm sure they've seen you at an event. I feel like you could run for mayor of the town and probably win. But if people aren't familiar with you, share a little bit about what you do.
Yeah, so thank you for that introduction. And yeah, it's very sweet. My name again is Misty Dockins, Windsor City Lifestyle, which is the publication out in Windsor and surrounding areas. We also go to Severance. And I have been the owner and publisher of Windsor City Lifestyle for almost 3 years
Cool.
already. And it is the scariest but most rewarding thing I've ever done. I say that
Ugh.
all the time because it's very true.
Well, I think, the entrepreneurs that watch this can relate to that as they're growing a business, like
Yes.
scary and exciting.
Yeah, very.
But you're in year 3. I did see that you were just sent on a trip because of the success that you're having. So you obviously got some kind of winning formula there in Windsor.
The winning formula is community. It's 100%. Windsor has an amazing community that really rallies behind me and other businesses. And I am just so grateful to be steamrolling this. Is steamrolling not, maybe that's not the word I want to use, but it's been such a blessing. And when I say 3 years, so it is a franchise. We've been around, the publication Windsor's been around for 3 years, but the company's been around for almost 20.
Okay.
And it's City Lifestyle. We're in almost every state now and in hundreds of cities. But it's my job to tell the heartbeat of Windsor and the surrounding areas.
Yeah.
So,
What do you love about Windsor and the business owners of Windsor?
I'm going to say it again, the community. It even though it's growing every single day, literally growing every single day, there's still that small town. And I don't know if we'll ever lose that. Even when people are going to not be happy, but someday we're going to be 100,000 people.
Yeah.
I mean, we're already at almost 48.
Wow.
And I think it'll always just have that small town feel. And when you're walking, when you're walking into a place and you hear your name, and everybody is just so friendly and welcoming.
Well, I've walked into a couple of places like with events, and you definitely amplify. Like Luna's Tacos, I want to highlight them. I went to a great networking event that you threw for a cover reveal for them, and
Yeah.
the owners were so excited to have you there and host all of the business owners. But how have you made connections? If you're starting, 3 years ago, you didn't have any advertisers, you had a business concept, but
Yeah.
how did you get it from just starting out to all of these really amazing relationships?
Well, you're going to love my answer because
Community.
you may know something about it. Networking,
There you go.
going and showing up, showing up, showing up, and showing up. And I wouldn't say that you have to go to every networking event. You do have to, I think there's something to be said about being intentional and strategic on where you're spending your time because our time is valuable. But when you find the networking groups that work, the first thing I tell people, and I get nothing out of this, join your chambers.
Sure.
The chambers are so active, and there's a chamber in every city. And our chamber, the Windsor Chamber, is extremely active. We have a new executive director, Norma Perez. She's lovely and very well known in our area.
yeah.
And of course, there's Fort Collins and Greeley. And I used to work for the Greeley Chamber, so they have a special place in my heart. And that is the first thing that I tell every business owner, no matter if you're small or big, join your chamber, learn about your chambers. If you ever want to sit down and talk about why I love chambers and so passionate about them, again, that they're just amazing. And then there's several networking groups. Of course, one of our favorites,
Yeah, sure.
Andrew. Of course, I've met so many great business owners from your networking group. And there's many others out there.
Yeah. So if you go to a chamber event, you're meeting people. How you just seem to build such like a deep relationship though with your people. So take us through like kind of you talked
Mhm.
about networking with intention, but how I guess expand on that a little bit
Yeah.
more. But how do you build those deeper relationships?
Well, I think for me, of course, I can only speak for me. I genuinely care.
Hmm.
I want all of us to rise. Right, and we can't do it without community and each other.
Hmm.
So that is something that is extremely important to me. So when I go to a networking group, my intention is really engaging and meeting. I'm not just sitting in a corner just like sipping on a cocktail.
Sure.
I want to actually meet at least 3 to 4 people and actually set up 3 to 4 coffee dates, um, and meet them outside of a busy area, and then just hear their story, hear what they're wanting. And I think the other thing that I may have the gift for is cheerleading. I'm a cheerleader and a connector, and it's important for me to not just with my business, but just me as a person. I genuinely care about your story. I
Hmm.
want to hear what your story is, and I want to bring value to your story. And so I get to do that for a living. I get to actually tell people's stories for a living. And even though I want to be clear, I'm not the writer. I do pretty much everything but the writing and the photography. But I come up with the story ideas, and like really strategically put the magazine together.
What?
And I do want to make it clear that we're not just paper, we're 100% digital.
Ooh.
We also have a huge social media presence. Please follow us on Windsor City Lifestyle, Facebook or Instagram. And then we do, as you have already mentioned, and I think this is what sets us really apart, is our events.
Hmm.
We, and I say we, because I have a team, again, photographers, writers, my editor. I have a whole marketing team. MCT Marketing is fantastic, just re-signed with them. So I have a whole team behind me to highlight all of our businesses and people and nonprofits in our community.
How do you balance it all between the events and, I mean,
That's a
maintaining the
great
relation? Yeah.
question. Do I balance it all? I would say if you asked my husband, he may say that I don't.
Okay.
No, I think one of the things that is an advantage for me is I'm 52 years old and I don't have kids, and I met my husband later in life, and he's such a cheerleader, and he lets me pretty much be and do whatever I want to do.
Yeah.
Um, so, but I would say that I could probably do a little better on balancing because I probably shouldn't say this out loud, but I'm going to. If I get an email at 10 p.m. at night, the odds are that I'm probably going to answer it,
Sure.
which is not good balance.
Sure.
So, I'm not sure if I'm the person to
I don't.
ask about balance.
Well, and maybe balance is the wrong word because what I do just feel every time I'm around you, you're very passionate about what you do. So
Mm,
maybe harmony is a better word. And when you're passionate about what you do, you might want to work till 10. You might want to get back
yeah.
to those people, but maybe how do you find work life harmony?
So, I work out every single day. I think it's very, very important. And I'm finding meditation is really, really important. I'm very good at the working out part. I'm not perfect at the meditation part,
Sure.
but finding that quiet, even if it's 5 minutes, and just really no technology, turning everything off, and really, really just staying in silence, is really important for people like you and I that are just busy, busy, busy all the time. And you get to add on to that with children and
Sure.
all of those things. So, yeah, those are the two. And then also in my free time, we are very grateful that we get to travel a lot.
Yeah.
So, because I can do besides well, I mean, I can even do a meeting on the road if it's a Zoom call. I can do a lot of this even when I'm traveling.
Yeah.
Get to go to Florida for a publishers retreat next month. on the beach. I'm super excited.
There you go. So you have a bunch of people advertise with you, and like you said,
82 partners right
that's
now
awesome.
as of today.
There you go. And a lot of
Yeah.
people who aren't familiar with Windsor now wouldn't realize that it's as big as it's growing or
It's
as robust. I mean, it's really cool to see what they're doing. But you're in a place to help elevate their brand, get them in a place, get them in front of local. I think a lot of the social media for you pages are all these national creators or stuff that you don't actually have any connection with at a local level. So
mhm.
there's a hunger and a thirst to be connected locally as well. But I would say it's probably maybe a heavy lift. They're advertising with you because they want to elevate their brand and
Mhm.
grow. And how do you help them meet their advertising goals?
Yeah, so I mean, we definitely sit down and talk about what their goals are for the year, and we also listen to what they really need. I was just having this conversation with another publisher, and for some reason, I see dealerships are somewhat hard for people to get in their magazine, and I
Hmm.
am grateful enough to have a little bit of background on dealerships, and so I have 3 amazing dealerships. I've got, McDonald Toyota, I've got John Elway BMW, and then I also have Mike Shaw Subaru. And I think the reason that all 3 of them, so the question that was asked to me by this publisher is, "How are you getting dealerships? None of us are getting them. Very few of us are getting them." And I said, "Well, you're not asking the right questions.
Mm,
What is the value that they want?" Obviously, an ad is how we make our money. However, what do they want? And guess what they all say? I want my vehicles to be seen. I
mm,
want them to be at your events. I want
good.
I want butts in seats. So, how do they make that happen? They show up and they show that those vehicles are in at our events. Many of those, maybe not them all together,
Sure.
but we strategically, hey, if this is an upscale event, we want a BMW. If it's a cowboy event, we want a truck. So like um those those are the things when you're listening to what people want, um you make it happen. And that's what I do. I introduce people all the time. Hey, you're a realtor. What are you looking? What are you needing? Well, of course, they're wanting to sell houses. Well, guess what? My next event, November 20th, is an open house event, 5 to 7. Everybody's invited. We're doing Toys for Tots, Pictures with Santa, 9 different venues. I'm sorry, vendors in the home. We're doing a little bingo and 9 vendors. They're my vendors, and American Legend Homes is getting eyes on their
Sure.
model homes. The realtor that they work with is going to be there shaking hands and kissing babies. I mean, all of our
Yeah.
vendors are like, I want to be a part of that. So we've got mortgage and bankers and massage
Yeah.
therapists is going to be there. So last year, this will be our second year doing it. Um, we had over a 200 people go through the home. They see
Wow.
value in that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So it's not just about, hey, I want you to have an ad in my publication. I want you to meet the people that you want to meet.
Sure.
And I am blessed enough to have those connections, and I make those connections for others.
And I like that you call them business partners
Mhm.
because when I think of you have 82 business partners, what an incredible network that is. People that are collaborating with you, working with you. But if you need them to come to an event or pull them together,
Mhm.
you can call them. They'll pick up your phone call because it's you in that relationship. But what doors do you think that that's open now that you've been in
Oh
for three
gosh.
years? You can have so many connections, especially in a place like Windsor. What does that allow you to do now that maybe you didn't have access to those resources when you first started?
Well, I think the doors that are being open are just so many different industries. We are limited industry, but there's some industries that I haven't been able to tap into yet. And they're introducing me to people too because they see value. And the other thing that I think is really important to mention now that I'm going on almost 3 years. Um, a lot of my partners are actually re-signing. So
Yep.
my retention is at 91%.
Nice.
The people that I have lost are usually people that have moved away or they've chosen another career. So hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah.
I think that answers your question.
Well, and the proof is in when you throw an event, how many people show up and um, collaborate like that.
Mhm.
Luna's was packed. I imagine 200 people walking through an open house. The
Yeah.
amazing traffic that is.
That's a funny story about Luna's. Just a funny story. And a couple of people came up to me, actually, a handful of people came up to me and they're like, Misty, we don't even really know why we're here, but we knew, excuse me, that we knew that you were having a party. So we knew we had to be here.
There you go.
And then the next day, I had a couple of people call me and just be like, I met so and we have a coffee date and I'm so excited to meet them. Like that's where it gives me so much joy when other
Yeah.
people are meeting. Because it's really not about me. It's about the energy that maybe I do bring, but that energy in the room is so exciting for me.
How do you pull it together though? Because it's one thing to just post an event, but getting people to show up, making sure people have an experience when they're at an event. There's a lot. I mean, I know just there's a lot more that goes
Mhm.
into it.
Yeah.
Any tips for a business owner who's wanting to build more of a community with their network or their clients?
The tip is follow up.
Okay.
Follow up. You don't just put an invitation out once or twice. Not only are you putting the invitation out, you're calling them, you're reminding them. There's work in that, and not a lot of people like that. And unfortunately, it's just we are all busy. We are
Hmm.
all so busy, and we need those reminders. We need them to put those on their calendars. You do a great job, by the way. Like truly, like your reminders of your emails and things like that they help all of us,
Sure.
and that's why your events are good because you're doing all the right things. And I think the other thing is that I've been around the Northern Colorado area for quite a while, and I do have a pretty good reputation,
Yeah.
thankfully. And so people know that when I put something together, it's going to be successful. And so I think the combination of the reputation that I have built and the follow up, and then also making sure that there is something a little different than, I mean, an open house that 200 people show up at is not normal. It's not just your
Right.
normal event, right? I mean, toys for tots and Santa and pictures being taken and hot chocolates and most of my events are free. Some of them are open to the public, some are just for my partners. But yeah, I just again, before I was doing this, I was with the Greeley Chamber. So I think all of my life has been customer service
Mm.
and networking and just learn, especially in the last 10 years with being in the dealership world and then the chamber world. Before that, it was restaurants and bars and hotels. So there has just always been a love for community and people.
Yeah.
And all of that combined gets me to where I am today. And this is what I was made for.
Uh,
I was made to do this and I didn't even know it. Thank you, Tara Rasmussen, that owns Greeley Lifestyle, because she's the one that saw it way before I did.
oh, that's so cool. And then your readers, right? They tune in or it shows up the first of the month and they get it and they read
Yeah.
the stories. But I think they can really connect with your storytelling ability. But I also think the readers want to get connected to local businesses. If a hailstorm hits, there's people door knocking. They may be flying in or driving in from anywhere, but to do a business with somebody from
Yeah.
Windsor, it's a big deal. So
Yeah, you hit 2 points there that I definitely want to say. So we have 62,000 people
Mm.
reading our publication every
Wow.
month, which is so wild, right?
yeah,
And the other thing that I wanted to just excuse me, we are very strategic. I shouldn't say strategic. We are very picky in who we put in our publication. I don't
yeah,
just take everybody. I want the best of the best. And I am limited, again, I'm in limited industry. So I'm not taking every roofer. I am taking roofers that have an amazing reputation. We only have two, McIntyre and Slaughter. Slaughter's been around for, I think they're going on close to 40 years
yeah.
in Northern Colorado. And McIntyre is since 2013. Both of them do an amazing job. And I personally know them. I've personally known them for a very long time, and I would recommend them to my friends, my family. They're both family owned, lovely families. Yeah. So it's very important that my pages are filled with people that I truly, anybody, any partner in my publication, I would go and have a cup of coffee with
Mm,
tomorrow.
yeah.
That is important to me. I can literally almost, 99.9% they're in my phones. We text. Um, I'm in, I'm there for them. Maybe I shouldn't say that either out loud. I'm gonna get myself in trouble.
No, and I think they, just from networking with people at the event, they really appreciate the personal service that you do for them. It's not
Mhm.
just that you give them a platform, but you walk somebody over and you help them make a connection, and you're in some ways the go between. Hey, I know you, and you need to meet so and so,
Yes,
and
absolutely.
make sure that you can. But I also think it's interesting of that you've blended your networking efforts and then your advertising efforts, because some people think it's like I do one or the other, but you do a great job of putting them together. But if somebody is going to networking events but maybe hasn't done a advertising campaign or bot marketing somewhere, how would they know that like City Lifestyle is a right fit for them?
Because they just need to call me so I can tell them.
Okay.
No, I think, well, there's just so much out there about City Lifestyle. Again, they've been around for 20 years. So, but it's just a matter of connecting with the right person, which if it's the Windsor area, it would be me. We have, we have a Fort Collins, we have a Loveland, we have a Greeley. All of the owners are amazing. And there's actually 18 in Colorado
Wow,
now.
very cool.
Um, I believe I'm right, 18. And I think I already said this, but I believe we're hitting 250 in the country.
That's cool.
So yeah, I think it's just a matter of please, follow Windsor City Lifestyle and just it- maybe you're not quite there for maybe you're not quite there about you don't have the funds to advertise, but tap into when you are there, if you
Yeah.
keep on following us and seeing that we do show up all the time, maybe there will be a time when it is right, when it does fit.
Sure. Well, Misty, I mean, you're clearly having a lot of fun and it's growing. Like, I'm excited to be one of your business partners as
Yeah,
well.
thank you.
But what are your goals? Where is this headed? Where's your big vision for the?
Okay. Well, goals. Oh, you didn't tell me we were talking about goals, and we are almost there. January are goals. So some personal goals. It's funny that you talk about boundaries. I do need to find some healthy boundaries that that yeah, in 2026, one thing I wrote down is healthy. Now see, I'm really good at my when I say personal boundaries, like I have great people that surround me. Um gosh, we have such great friends and family. But again, I should not be answering an email at 11 p.m. at
Sure.
night. So boundaries would
Yeah.
probably be a goal. I'm always looking for the right partners. So growing the publication in a healthy, steady way. I'm like, again, we started at 36 pages 3 years ago, or I should say two and so my first publication came out March of 2023.
Okay.
So when I say that I've been around for almost 3 years, of course, when you first purchase the publication, you have to get partners
Yeah. Right.
to fill the pages, right?
Yeah.
So that's where I get the 3 years. But our publication has been out since March of 2023. We started at 36 pages. We are now at 56, getting ready to go to
Cool.
60. So it's been a healthy growth though. And people will tell me like, do you have a stopping point? And as long as Windsor's growing and we're doing it in a healthy manner, I think that I'm good with growing, of
Yeah.
course.
Sure.
But again, just keeping that feel of auth, that big word, genuine. I'll use
Yeah.
that word instead of authentic. What am I trying?
Authenticity.
Yeah, that word. I can't say it. Oh, and so just staying. It's very, very important for me to stay authentic and
Yeah.
genuine and have a healthy pace of growth. And I also, I guess if I was going to say out loud, and I've said it a couple of times, but I wouldn't mind starting a podcast.
There you go.
So
All right.
I think that that could be another layer that sets me apart of offering that to partners.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and just to keep staying healthy, working
Yeah.
out. And again, a 52-year-old woman that it's very important for me to keep my health. So,
Yeah. Well, Misty, this is awesome conversation. Part of the connections that matter is we help people make connections. So, is there any specific industries that you're looking to connect with if somebody's watching this that you would love to reach out or do a one-on-one?
yes, I do have a couple. I have a whole list, but I'll limit it to 4. I would love a great storage unit in Northern Colorado, specifically Windsor. There's several storage units, and that's just a hard industry. I would love a hospital. We've got UC Health and NCMC that are in that area. And injectables. I do
Oh,
not
yeah.
have anybody that does injectables, which is so wild. I have lovely a couple of people that do facials and things of those, and I actually get facials. Um that do a wonderful job, but I have nobody that does injectables.
Mm.
And let's see, one more. I have a room for one more realtor.
Oh, wow. There you go.
Now that I'm growing, I have 2 amazing realtors and a commercial realtor, but I have room for one more.
Okay.
And I would like it to be a group,
Oh, yeah.
like
Yeah.
maybe not an
Team.
individual, but like a team.
Sure. Well, I love that you highlight the injectable. I tell people when we're networking, you need to network with the personal services people because the hairstylist, the makeup artist, they
Yes.
know everything that's happening with everybody. They're a lot of times the best referral generators.
Yes.
So,
Yes,
well, it sounds like
yes.
a great opportunity, and just to have them connect and meet you would be an awesome thing. So, Misty, thanks for coming on the show. If somebody wants to get a hold of you, what's the best way for them to reach out?
So I'm just going to give my phone number because that's always easy. 720-520-2874. My, again, I'm going to say it one more time. Follow me, Windsor City Lifestyle. That's truly me that's getting back to you.
Nice.
Facebook or Instagram. And then my email is Misty, MISTY, .Dockins, DOCKINS, @citylifestyle.com.
Awesome, Misty. This was a great discussion. Thanks so much for coming on the show,
Thank
and we'll see you
you.
around Northern Colorado.
Thank you.
Hey, all, thanks for watching. I love networking and building relationships with other Northern Colorado business leaders. So if you want to come meet some of these podcast guests, meet me, or meet some other amazing entrepreneurs in Northern Colorado, I would love to have you attend one of our next events. Go in the podcast description. There's a ways that you can see our upcoming schedule, and maybe you could be a future podcast guest as well. Thanks.